this first attack, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go into the armbar from the guard. So, for this armbar, he's usually going to be here. He's going to be posting up on my hips to start breaking that guard down. I take my hand on the outside. So when we did it in the last video, we went to the inside. In this case, I'm going to go to the outside. And what I want to do with this hand is I just want to thread it in just a little bit, and then I want to shoot it straight to the ceiling, right? The mistake that people tend to make, right, is that they will kind of try to shut upward or extend their arm over this way, and you're never going to capture this arm if you do that, right? So I need to close up the space for him to be able to pull that arm back, right? So I'm going in from the outside, right? And I'm pushing up to the ceiling as I do that little guard break right there, right? And now, see, I'm already hooking the head, right? So that he can't posture back up. And this is perfectly fine right now. This hand is threading in near his armpit, like under his forearm, okay? So from here, I'm going to take my hand out and I'm going to figure four here. Now, some people, I feel like they pinch this arm and they'll take this out and they'll put it here. And the thing about that is they're going to run away, right? You're going to lose your guy. So once I got that break and I've got this hook on the head, I'm going to use my forearm, right? And you see I'm even using my legs to turn him. And the whole time, until I get my hand on his hand, on my own wrist, right? I'm keeping pressure on his head and neck all the way through that transition. The place that you're going to lose submissions, you're going to lose positions, you're going to lose everything is in the transition. So if I'm breaking connection here, I'm not going to get into this entangled arm position. So I've got this hook, I'm keeping pressure on the head, I catch the wrist, and then I'm kind of cupping the trapezius here, and I'm creating a little, so my fingertips on the trapezius, my palm, bottom of my palm is into his collarbone, into this clavicle, right? So I'm here. So now you see that I've got a pull with this, right? This is my pull right on top of what my legs are already doing. And this is a push. So again, we're going back to that concept of a push and a pull. So now, because I have maintained a push and a pull, right? And I've got this control here, right? I can start cutting my angle here, throw my leg over, much harder with this, and then I can start setting up that armbar from here, right? And a lot of times you see, this is where I'm usually going to finish this. So again, boots on, heels driven in, just like before. I've got a 90-degree bend here, and I want to keep the structure, because what's going to happen is that once you kind of start setting up this armbar, is he's going to start stacking you, right? He's going to try to fold you, try to pin your shoulders to the mat, so he can start pulling his arm out. But if you maintain the structure, not only are you heavier for him, that's going to make his job a whole lot harder. He could stand all the way up, and I can be here, and I can still finish that armbar well before he's going to be able to pull it out. So again, this structure that we've been practicing all along is incredibly important, right? So, his arm's getting extra floppy. All right, so I'm going from the outside in, right? I'm going to punch straight up to the ceiling, right? If I bring my arm here, see all this gap right here? Right? This is what people tend to do, okay? Right? They'll come in from the outside and they'll go here, and you cut all the space from, just go, I'm protecting. But if I shoot up to the ceiling, you see my arm is connected to his shoulder, there's no space here for him to work his arm back in. I'm going to cut the back of his head. I'm going to slide my arm under his arm. Now I'm keeping pressure on his neck as I transition, and I move my arm to the trapezius and clavicle right there, right? So from here, I've got control, right? So I can start using that push to start getting onto my hip to get that angle, and then I can come up and I can hit that arm bar from the guard, or if he flops over like that, then I can totally hit it from the side control position. And it's not going to be much different, all right? It's actually not different at all. And that's one thing I hope I've impressed upon you, is that an armbar is an armbar is an armbar from any position. So, last time, we're going to go into that entangled arm position, right? Do I want to do that? No. So I'm going from the outside in, I'm bringing my knees wide, to my armpits. I'm drawing my heels in, and I'm breaking down this connection. Now, if he has this connection, I might use this hand to sweep it away on this side, right? So if he's posting on this side, I might do one of these to just kind of break that a little bit. But, you know, a lot of times that post is not going to be enough, especially since a lot of people like to keep their elbows buried in. That post is not going to be enough for me to break, for me to prevent me from breaking this posture. I'm sorry about that. So shoot straight up, no room here for him to bring in. I cup his head, which was off my center line, right, so I don't face bonk, and then I'm going to take this hand, cup it under here, and I get a good pinch here, right? That's really, really important that I have this pinch, because again, this is my pull, this is my control here. I'm going to flick over without relieving pressure, right? Even when I come over here, guys, you know, as my pressure is coming off of his neck, it moves on top of his shoulders. Once I get this lock here, I will bring it to the front of the shoulder, right? So I've got this control. Now I don't really need to pinch as hard. I actually need to be a little bit mobile, right? I'm here. I'm going to get onto this side, throw my leg over, and then here is that armbar. So that's your closed guard entangled arm armbar.